Ever wonder how to talk about the future like a native English speaker? It's not always as simple as just throwing will in front of a verb. Nope. English actually has a whole toolbox for talking about tomorrow. And today, we're going to open it up and make it all crystal clear. Let's dive in. So, let's kick things off with a little puzzle. Will you master the future tense, or are you going to master it? They sound kind of the same, don't they? But trust me, by the time we're done here, you're going to understand the subtle but super important difference between them. And nope, it is not a trick question. Honestly, the best way to think about this is like a toolbox. You wouldn't use a hammer to saw a piece of wood, right? Same idea here. You've got different tools for different jobs. So let's get that box open and check them out. All right, first up, we've got the most fundamental tool in the box, the simple future. This is your workhorse, your go-to for talking about what's coming up. It's really the foundation for everything else we're going to cover today. And building it is super easy. It's just your subject plus the word will, followed by the basic form of your verb. Simple as that. Now, you might see the word shall sometimes, but honestly, in modern everyday English, will is your best friend. It's what you'll hear and use 99% of the time. So what's the job of will? Well, think of it as having three main gigs. First, it's for straight-up facts about the future. Second, it's for things you believe or predict are going to happen. And third, and this one is a biggie, it's for decisions you make on the fly, right in that moment you're speaking. For instance, I will turn 20 next month. This is just a simple fact. It's happening. There's no plan or prediction. It's just a statement about the future. A perfect use case for will.
Now, this is a perfect example of that spontaneous decision thing. The receptionist says Mr. Varma's busy, and right then and there, Nickel makes a new plan. Okay, I will call later. See? He didn't have this plan before the call. He made the decision on the spot.
But what if you want to talk about something that will be happening, like in the middle of happening, at a specific point in the future? For that, we need to pull another tool from our box. Meet the future continuous. The recipe for this one is a little different. You've got your subject, then will be, and then your verb with that classic ing ending. That ing is always your signal that we're talking about an action that's ongoing. So the whole point here is to drop you right into the middle of a future event. It's like we're fast-forwarding and hitting play to see an action happening at a very specific time. We're not focused on when it starts or ends, just that it's in progress. Take a look at this. We will be sailing to Lakshadweep at this time tomorrow. You can almost picture it, can't you? The focus isn't just that the trip happens tomorrow, but that at this exact time tomorrow, the action of sailing will be happening. We'll be on the water. Okay, let's get a little more advanced. What if you need to do some mental time travel? Imagine you're in the future and you're looking back at something that's already finished. For that, we need a really cool tool, the Future Perfect. The whole idea here is setting a future deadline. You're basically saying that some action will be totally done and dusted by a specific time. You see how it works on this timeline? The action is finished before we even get to that future point. It's all about sequence. So what does this look like? You're going to use your subject plus will have plus the past participle of the verb. Words like gone, finished, or seen. It's pretty cool because it always juggles two future times, the deadline itself and the point when the action gets completed, which is always before that deadline. This example just nails it. You've got two future events, you coming back and Rita leaving. By using will have gone, we know for sure that Rita's departure is already in the past by the time you walk through the door. Action 1 is finished before action 2 happens. All right, let's circle back to that puzzle from the beginning. Will versus going to. This is where we get the answer, because while will is an awesome tool, English speakers have another go-to phrase they use all the time when talking about what they plan to do. And here it is, the big difference. We use will for those on-the-spot spontaneous decisions, but we use going to for plans we made before we even started talking. If you say, I am going to host a dinner, it tells me you've already thought about it. Getting this down is a total game changer for sounding natural.
But wait, going to has another trick up its sleeve. It's not just for plans. We also use it when we're making a prediction based on evidence we can see or feel right now.
And here's the classic example you hear all the time. Look at those gray clouds. It's going to rain. See what's happening? You're not just guessing. You have actual physical evidence, the dark clouds, that makes you pretty certain about what's coming next. Whew. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We've looked at all the main tools in our future tense toolbox. So let's pull everything together into one handy spot. Think of this as your personal cheat sheet for talking about what's next. So let's do a super quick recap. You're going to use will for spontaneous decisions and general predictions. Use going to when you have a pre-existing plan or evidence for a prediction. Grab the future continuous when you want to talk about an action that will be in progress. And pull out the future perfect when an action will be totally finished by a certain future time. Each tool has its own very specific, very useful job. So back to where we started. Remember that first question? Now you know the answer. Because you made a plan to learn by watching this, the perfect answer is, I am going to master the future tense. You've got the whole toolbox now. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it?